If you didn't know, this is the Morningwood NFL Sunday here, brought to you by Rumpier Sports.
What up, boys? We're back with the Golf War Show, the preeminent golf show on the entire internet.
Huge weekend of baseball coming up. We haven't really had a final week like this in a while where there's so many teams that are still alive.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone! Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby beat Freddie!
They might have the best pass rush in football.
They were adamant about not having a slow start.
How many times have they disappointed us? So I'm having a lot less of this game.
The game is over. The New York Jets are the world champions. Mahomes swings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City! The Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champions!
What up, boys? We are back with the greatest show in the history of the internet, the Golf War Show, for the Sony Open, starring Mitchell Snyder. How are you doing, Snyder?
I'm doing great, man. We're back with loaded gun here with the PGA show. PGA tournaments are back in swing here, minus the Century last week, but that wasn't that good of an event anyways. Into a full swing here with the SONY Open, and then we're heading to Cali.
Hell yeah. Bryce, how we doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I wish I had swapped on to more Bryce Sensabaugh because he has 28 actual points at halftime.
Damn. Bryce Sensabaugh getting after it.
I don't like him because he spells his name with an I instead of a Y.
That's true. I don't like that either. Bryce, you just told us you're going to the national championship next week. How you feeling about that?
I feel like IU's going to fucking roll these Cuban losers. Although Mendoza is Cuban, so I probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah, back and forth.
Yeah, leaving Friday, coming back Tuesday. Got the whole itinerary planned out for me. Shout out Brad Batten, RPS user. He hooked it up for me. So, yeah. I mean, I was texting everyone for tickets, and everyone was like,
it was crazy. Like I texted every hookup I had, and it was all just like, if you bet $100,000 on the game, then we'll give you a ticket. This is the hardest. This Miami Indiana game is the hardest ticket I can remember since the COVID Super Bowl, where they only let 5,000 people in.
Yeah.
In Tampa.
It was kind of crazy early. Like they said, if Miami made it to the title game, like nobody would go, and this is like the biggest game ever now.
No,
I think the last game of this magnitude I went to with you, Mark.
Yeah, the Georgia-Alabama game.
Alabama game at Lucas Oil, and DraftKings put us in a suite for that, and we were like.
But yeah, Miami being at home is. Yeah.
Indiana has.
It would suck to be a rep for Hard Rock right now.
And, Indiana fans are going too. They're paying ridiculous prices to go just because, they've been good in 80 years.
Yeah. All right. We will start with the golf.
I would love to have some golf sweats Sunday too.
I'm going to start with an opinion. I think that the weather is a substantial factor. So keep that baked into my opinions. I think the morning wave on Thursday is substantially better than the Friday wave as far as the weather, at least as of now. We're obviously
the golfers in there are better too.
What's up?
The golfer strength in that way.
Aside from a few, but yeah, I don't want to prioritize anybody that's starting in the afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah, my main team has 6 morning guys.
Same. So
I played one main team in 150. So
yeah. So why don't we start with the top end? We'll cut it at Siwoo. I think that's the right place to cut it. Russell Henley 10-3 down to Siwoo 9,400. Snyder, who are you liking here? I feel like there's one obvious choice, and then it kind of cascades down.
Yeah, I think it's. I would almost add in 2. I think there's 2 guys I like in this. I mean, Big Russ Henley, the hen dog, is definitely number 1. I mean, the dude is crushed here. He's T10 and T4 in his last 2 trips. He's coming off what I think is his best year ever. I mean, he had all those showings there toward the end, got second in the Tour Championship. I mean, he just had a huge year, had a win for us during the season as well. Just a great course for him. I mean, he's super accurate. He can putt the ball. Now his putter is getting a little better, but Henley's definitely 1. But I think Spawn should be priced where Ben Griffin is. I think you're getting a little bit of a discount on him, and the odds are kind of moving that way too. His odds have only gotten better throughout the week. Not really the same as Henley's, but he's right there pushing. Let's see now. Yeah, he's down to 17-1 on Penny now. So I think JJ Spawn is an excellent play there. I think a lot of teams are going to start Henley Spawn, which is probably the nut start there, I think, up top. But so those are my favorite 2 guys. Spawn did finish T3 here last year as well. He comes off a huge year last year, winning the major over Scotty. And then I think we're just going to see him kind of continue to ascend this year as well. And then my guy Morikawa comes back to Hawaii, where a few years ago John Rahm snatched his soul, but I think that's gone. I think he's going to come out. He gets the morning wave as well. Great course for him too. I mean, hopefully he worked on his putter this offseason. I mean, just the absolute pure ball striker. Just the putter always seems to hold him back some. He does come out strong round 1s though. Like regardless, he plays his best round 1. So I really like him. First round leader and first round top 20 as well going into this. And then I'm not really have too much conviction on the other guys. I think Hideki is going to be over-owned. I'm fine being underweight on him just because he's going out in the PM, like you were saying. And then Ben Griffin and Bobby Mack are neutral to me, I guess, if anything.
Bryce?
I pretty much have the same takes here as Snyder. I think that Bobby Mack is my least favorite play in this group by a decent margin. Price adjusted, I mean, it's Henley and Spawn are the 2 best plays in it. I like starting my teams with Spawn over Henley. It's because, you really the $800 or whatever really does help you. But I mean, Henley's a very strong play as well. And then I agree with Snyder on Morikawa. He's my 3rd favorite play in the range here. I'm not going to have a ton of Siwoo. Decky, I think, is an okay leverage play. Like, I'm fine playing a couple of guys in the afternoon wave, and he's definitely one of them. I typically like to play like the higher quality golfers in bad waves, or not bad waves. Like it's to be determined. And I would definitely wake up in the morning. I mean, it doesn't start till 12:10 Eastern, and see if the wind is shifting, because like a lot of people won't do that. So if the wind shifted, like, I mean, all of the show could be null and void. And yeah.
As far as factoring wind, I gave the AM wave 5 points on DraftKings. So when you take your projections, I gave every single player in the AM 5 an extra 5. So as far as this top end, I think the clear best play is JJ Spawn 9,500. He's the clear second favorite in this field. He's been improving every week. I know he got a long off season, but I don't see, like, somebody asked me who would I take in one and done this week, and I think JJ Spawn is the clear choice for a one and done. I bet him at 18-1 on DraftKings about an hour ago. I think that's the best play. All my, in terms of my MME output, JJ Spawn, I'm playing nearly 50%. After him, it's Henley, as Snyder alluded to. The price difference is substantial, but he is a substantially better play than basically everybody in the field. So, I do think that you should lean on Henley in the vast majority of your teams, along with Spawn. After him, we spoke on Morikawa. My optimal team starts Henley, Spawn, Morikawa. So, it's not that hard to dig here. There are some plays in the 6Ks that you can get to, especially considering the wave advantage. So, I do love those. Among the guys in this range that are playing in the bad wave, Hideki, I do like a substantial bit more than Siwoo, just because he has a better course history. But I would much rather play Ben Griffin than Hideki, to be honest, even at the price differential.
There we go. In front of the program, Lordo Fantasy. I think Griffin.
I have 30% Griffin.
Low owned. Lord, stop trying to change words. But yes, I think he will be low owned here in this range.
I like Spawn more than Henley because you get 800 salary.
Yeah, I mean, if you're betting straight up, I'd still take Henley.
Henley straight up, like if you're giving me a coin flip with no salary, yeah. But Spawn, I think, is the best DFS play on the slate.
I agree with that.
I will say something about this win, like they were talking. I was listening to Michael Kim earlier. He was saying generally the wind here blows against the dog legs, and this year it's kind of flipped and it's blowing with the dog legs. So I don't think it'll help out a little bit maybe with the guys, but you're still going to be playing, downhill, downwind now. So you got to really factor in a lot more with this wind. It could almost be worse if playing with it potentially, depending on if you catch a flyer out of the rough and some of these situations like that.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, let's go to the next range. We'll start with Keegan at 93. We'll go down to Corey Connors 86. I feel like that's where we should cut this off. That's kind of shitty. All right, so Keegan down to Corey Connors 9,300 down to 8,600. We'll start with Bryce this time. Who do you like in this range, and who do you dislike?
I don't really like Keegan. I don't really like Mav. You can talk me into some Harry Hall and Nick Taylor here. I just think they have a decent amount of upside. Kitayama, I do prefer to the aforementioned guys. Chris Kirk, excuse my
Charlie Kirk.
I was just really trying not to pull Stephen A there, so I like the complete opposite way. Keith Mitchell, I have like 12%. Connors is a big buy for me in this range. I would take Connors over any of these guys straight up. Price disregarded. So a lot of my ownership in this range goes to our good Canadian friend Corey Connors.
Mitch.
Yeah, I think Connors is probably the strongest, safest play here. Really good ball striker. Approach game is always good for him. And last year he even got the putter started to flip for him. He actually is basically breaking even putting over his last 36 rounds, which is a huge win for him in his putting stats there. He was seventh in his last event there in December. He played in the Hero. Hasn't had the best course history here. Does have a T12 a couple years ago, but a couple other kind of middling finishes after that. I think Keith Mitchell is definitely an upside guy. I really like him for a first-round leader. He goes out first. He can get low. He can go low early and kind of keep it rolling through there. He's had a couple top 30s here. Nothing great, but showed some a form in the fall there. Had a T10 and a T18 in two of his fall events there. Always like Killer Keith early in the year. These weaker type field events. So I'll have a decent amount of him. And then Who was the other one I really liked? I've been getting more onto some Nick Taylor. He goes out early. I think he's fine. He won this event last year with T7, so I wasn't really sure how much I would get to him because I didn't know how much he was going to get pushed, like ownership-wise. I think he's going to be like right around 10 to 12%, so I'll definitely be overweight on Nick Taylor there. Our guy Harry Hall, me and JBC were talking about him a little earlier. Always got to play some
by Hard Rock, Harry Hall.
The new Hard Rock guy, yeah. He had a T10 here last year. We played Harry Hall quite often last year. I mean, he printed for us throughout the season last year. He went overseas and played a couple events this fall. Didn't play as well overseas, but he's back over in the stateside. So definitely going to have some Harry Hall. He goes out in the morning as well. I prefer Harry Hall to Mav, Keegan, and Siwoo actually as well. So I like him over those three once you get more towards the top of this range.
I agree with most of what you're saying. This range, I really want to. I feel like there is a discrepancy between ownership and how I like these guys in this range because of the wind advantage. So I feel like this range is going to go heavily under-owned compared to the rest of the field in terms of like MME and high stakes, especially in high stakes. So just to, I like Harry Hall as a play. You just spoke on that. I think that, I've got him in the mid-teens. I like him a lot. Kurt Kitayama, Nick Taylor, same exact boat. I want to play them a fair amount. Keith Mitchell, I think, will go completely unowned, and other than people just like chasing the first guy out. So I do like Keith Mitchell, but my favorite guy in this range, as you spoke on, Corey Connors. Corey Connors is the best guy in this range, regardless of price, and he's a better play than Siwoo Kim. So you're getting a massive price discount by playing Corey Connors as opposed to the rest of the range. So I do love Corey Connors. We'll move down to the next range. We'll go from why don't we go from Chris Goddard down to Eric Cole, Jake Knapp, 7,700. So 85 down to 77. Snyder, who are you liking in this kind of mid-upper range? I know a lot of people are going to be on Aaron Rye. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Aaron Rye is one of the better plays. I think he could almost be in the – I think he should be like right where Kurt Kitayama, Nick Taylor is almost. I think he's underpriced here. Definitely when you look at the odds and such, he's right up there. I mean, Connors is better than him, but he's right there close in odds-wise. So I like Connors Rye quite a bit. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to go back to the top here. I'm going to keep playing my guy Chris Goddard up. I mean, I played him a lot last year, and it paid off there for a while. He just sun ran for about 2 straight months, it seemed like. So I'm going to go right back to him. Had a couple good finishes toward the end of the year, too, in the fall there. Had the T10 at the Hero. Played well in the Tour Championship as well. So I'm going to go back to him. I'm going to be under on Scott. I know he was over in Australia playing a couple of events over there. Had a couple of good finishes over there. But I don't think Adam Scott at this point in his career is really worth that price tag. I think he's a little overpriced. I'll be underweight on him. I don't normally play Spieth, so I'll continue to be off of him. And he goes out in the PM, so him in that wind, you just never know. I mean, he could throw up a couple 12s on a couple holes if he wanted to. But I think Rico Hoey is another good guy. I'm going to be quite considerably overweight on Rico Hoey as well. He was one of those guys that just crushed us down the fall swing. I think I played him every event during the fall swing. Had the runner-up in Utah, had a T4 at the Big Current, and then was T7 at the RSM Classic. So good form coming in from Rico. And these early season events, like especially for these mid-range and lesser guys, I kind of want them to be playing some in the last 2 months, like some in the fall to have come in with some good form. So Rico has plenty of that. I think Denny McCarthy might be a guy that kind of gets steamed up here. I've heard his name getting talked of quite a bit around the industry. So I think he's a guy that could surprise people. I think he'll probably be close to 15% or something like that potentially. My favorite play in the 7Ks is going to be Nico. How far are we going down? I already forgot.
I was only
7.7. Eric Cole.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's in there. Nico's.
Yeah, he's in there.
Nico, yeah.
Nico's one of my favorite plays on the board. He was runner-up here last year. Had a T12 here back in 2023. He does go out late, but I don't mind it. I think the big weather advantage is going to be that first day, and then Friday, Saturday, it's all bets off. I mean, it could be complete whatever happens there. So I like Nico at 7-9. I think he's undervalued. The odds agree with that as well. So he had the T4 at the RSM as well. Had a couple other T15s during the fall swing. So I really like Nico with the good form and the good course history. So he's my favorite 7K guy. I think at least upper 7Ks guys. And then not much for me on Knapp. Johnny Kiefer, I wanted to play. I'll still have a decent amount of Johnny Kiefer. He goes out late, but he just has so much talent. And he's one of those other guys that we were just riding throughout the fall swing. Had some good finishes on the Corn Ferry Tour, and then comes to the RSM and immediately goes T10 there. So I think Johnny Kiefer has plenty of upside for the 7.8K price tag.
Bryce.
This is one of my favorite ranges. I think Rye is one of the best plays on the board. So I have a ton of Aaron Rye. I think I put him as a bet too over at Run Pure Sports. Not to give away too much. Jordan Spieth, I want nothing to do with. I'm not a Spieth guy. Adam Scott, I would disagree with Snyder here. I think Scott's a very good play at 8,400. I'm going to have a lot of him. Rico Hoey, I think it always has upside. Don't mind him at all. Harmon, I never really play Harmon. It seems a little too expensive for him. Nico, I do like a decent amount. Not as much as Ryan Scott, obviously. Denny, I think it's a pretty solid play here. Like, he can always get hot with the flat stick, but if he steams to like say 15 or 20%, I'll be under that. Kiefer, don't want. Knapp, don't really want, and Eric Cole I also don't really want.
I tend to agree with Bryce here. I think Adam Scott is actually like a really, really good play in this range, going off early. Very consistent. I feel like if he putts to 0, he's very live to win the tournament. Spieth I don't really like because he's going off in the bad wave and he's so reckless. Aaron Rye, I don't like him as much as most people like him. I feel like around the industry, like, he's going to get steamed up. Like, I feel like in higher stakes contests, Aaron Rye is going to get to like 25, 30% at least. And I don't want to be anywhere around that. Brian Harmon, don't like. Denny McCarthy, as much as I had to say it, I think Wiley's right. I think Denny McCarthy is a good play at 7,900. I think he's a better play than Nico Echevarria coming out of the bad wave. There's a lot of variance there, and I understand that there's maximum upside on Nico, but I don't really want any part of him. John Kiefer, Jake Knapp, don't want it. Eric Cole, don't want it. So moving down to the next range, we got – there's going to be a lot of really good golfers here. So we'll go from 7,600 Christopher Wrighton down to 7K. Bryce, these like mid-low value guys, there's a lot of them. How are you feeling about them, and who you think is the best?
I like Wrighton the best, to be honest. I think he has a ton of upside, goes off in the good wave. I'm going to have a lot of him. Pendrith, I think, is a very strong play as well. I like him a good amount. Mac Messner, I'd never say his name right. Mac?
I think it's just Meissner.
Yeah. Trying to remember these names from last season. I think he's an all right play. Likely not someone I'm going to be over on just because I'm hammering, Pendrith and Wrighton above and below him. Berger, he kind of has to show it to me this season before I start playing him. Not really on him this week. Max McCarty, I think, does have a little bit of upside here. Don't mind him at all. Shipley, I have 0. Woodland, I have, I think, 1 lineup. Not really on. Sorry. I think Griot's a decent play. I got my cooties mixed up. I think Pearson's an okay play. Billy Horschel, I don't really have much of him. Michael Kim, I think, is a very solid play here. I have a decent amount of him. Same goes for Sam Stevens. Ryan Gerard, I don't really think this is the course fit for him. Vince Whaley, if you're looking to win a tournament, don't play him. If you're looking to make a cut, play him. So I'm not really playing him. Webb, I think it's just kind of a total dust ball at this point. I won't have much. Alex Smalley, I like a good amount. Mr. Tong, Hao Tong Lee, I do like here.
The GOAT.
Yeah. I have no Jordan Smith. Perry, on the other hand, I do have a decent amount of. I like him here. Thegal, I'm willing to take a chance on this week. We know he has the talent, and yeah, he just didn't really play great last year whatsoever. Blanchett, want nothing to do with him. Tony Finau, we know he has the talent as well. I don't really see it with him. Seamus Power, I do like. Lee Hodges, I don't really like. Tom Kim, I do like a lot. I think he's a very strong play here. Schmidt, I think, is another strong play. Bud Cauley was really good to us last year, but he's not it for me this week. Jacob Bridgman is, though. I like Bridgman a good amount here, and then I think that does it with the sevens.
Mitch.
Yeah, right here for me at the 7-6s. I agree with Bryce there on Christopher Retan. One of my favorite guys. Dude was just crushing it over on the Euro side here as of late. Won his last event over on the Euro side too back in December, a few weeks back. Had a couple other top fives over there. Comes back here. I think he's going to make some noise on the PGA Tour this year. I mean, he's got the game. Looking at his, just frozen. Yeah, he's long off the tee. Bombs at 320 plus off the tee. He can get the putter going at times, gaining nearly a stroke putting over his last 36 rounds. So I think Retan is a strong play. I like Michael Brennan's upside. It's just he's going out late. I don't really want him there. Then Taylor Pendress, a solid, very solid, like safer play. I think 7-6. Berger, I'm just not going to play Berger still. Mac Messier, ton of very consistent finishes there. Goes out late, but just was a consistent like top 30 guy over the fall swing. He was T21 here last year as well. I'll have him in the pool. I don't know how much I'll get to him though, as he's going out a little later. The one guy I wanted to play coming into this event, he's going out in the afternoon though, is my guy Matt McCarty. I had him circled coming into the event before I even looked at the weather or anything. I'm still going to play a decent amount of him just because for what he did there. He was T3 at the Utah. I almost won a tournament that Utah week on the fall swing. He had T3. If he would have won, I think I would have been right close to the win. But definitely like some McCarty. Then Pearson Coody is I actually like Pearson Coody quite a bit now. A dude bombs it off the tee. He's gaining over 2 strokes tee to green. Goes out in the early wave. He's in my main showdown team as well, round 1 showdown team. He goes low early, so I like Coody. Michael Kim goes out in first group. I think he's fine. Had that win back on the Euro Tour back in September. So he's got some winning upside. Ryan Gerard, I was wanting to play more of him, but he goes out late, but I'll still have him in the pool. I had the second place finish a few weeks ago overseas. And then Vince Whaley was a consistent cut maker. Probably be under on him if not fully fading. Doesn't have the best course history here and then goes out late as well. Haotong Li, great upside, top 20 guy. Jordan L. Smith. I'm not too worried with the wins with Jordan L. Smith as he's a Euro guy, plays in the win quite a bit. It's just been a really consistent, top 20 guy.
He can't fucking putt. God.
I know he can't.
He screwed me over so many times.
Yeah. That ain't no lie, but he'll probably finish T25 or T30 and lose 3 strokes putting or something. But one guy I do like quite a bit that he's going out late, but I just love the upside of this guy. I want to be early on this guy coming into the year, so I'm going to play some of him this week. One of my favorite players off of the Corn Ferry last year had a couple wins on the Corn Ferry. Chandler Blanchett he won the Corn Ferry Tour Championship. Had some strong finishes there down the stretch of the Corn Ferry Tour. He went T4, T7, and then won the championship over there. So he's on this year. I want to be ahead of the curve on him. So I'll still play him a decent amount. If he was going out early, probably would have been in my main lineup. But and then we're going to move down. Not going to play Thigala. I know he's cheap down there, but I just can't really. He's in that same bucket as Berger. I'll probably have maybe like 10% of him though in 150, but not a guy I want to be seriously overweight on. Seamus Power in these weaker type field events, these coastal field events. I like playing him some here. He's coming off a strong fall there as well. T27, T11, and T7 in his last event there at the RSM. He finished T7. He goes out early. And then that's about it for me here in this 7K range. I know Mark likes Tom Kim. I'll let him talk about him, but I just can't go through that again. I played him last year at times, and I'm not ready to click that button yet.
The best play in this range is Tom Kim by a significant margin. As far as upside in this range, he's clearly at the top. Like, he's the best player in this range. Obviously he had his struggles last year, but I will be going back to Tom Kim here, being in the big good wave and being 7,000. It's just a crazy price to me. After him, we're looking at Haotong Li, another guy with mad upside, but
Mr. Tom.
You
got to refer to him as Mr. Tom.
So I'll be going right back to Haotong Li, and at the higher end of this range, Christopher Raytan, as Snyder alluded to, and Taylor Pendrith are both elite plays going off in the good wave, and Snyder spoke on it as well. Matthew McCarty, I would love if he was not in the bad wave. I still have him like 10%, even in the shit wave. So I'm playing him a lot. Other than that,
well, maybe it flips and you get to play a ton of him.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot less.
Other than that, the guys I got more than 10% in this range: Michael Kim, Sam Stevens, Alex Smalley, Sahith Thigala, and Seamus Power, who you guys all alluded to. We're all on the same page here. Let's get into the dregs. We'll go 6,900 and down. Snyder, start with you. What shit boys you like?
Yeah. The one guy that really jumps out to me just from an odd standpoint is Max McGreevy. Strong fall swing there. Almost won the RSM, finished runner-up there, and was T3 the week before in the Butterfield Bermuda, and then he was T11 in Utah. So really strong form coming over for him. Doesn't have the best course history here as he's missed the cut in all 3 trips, but I'm gonna have at least 10% of him down here. So I'm gonna have some of him. Bill Mao, I'll be playing some of him. Had a couple of good finishes for us last year. I believe he won an event last year, but I'm not 100%. But going down, I usually like playing Mark Hubbard in these shit events, but he goes out late, so probably won't get much of him. I like the upside of Zach Blair. He had some top 10s there throughout the swing seat or the fall swing there. I'll have a sprinkle of him. Cristiano Laprant, dude bombs it off the tee.
Cristiano Lamprecht, no, that's Georgia Tech, baby.
A dude just absolutely nukes it off the tee. He's averaging like just over 330. Can't hit an iron to save his life, but he hits the ball a long ways off the tee. He's fine there. Gihida Namachiga, and Takumi Kanaya are both guys down there. I'll have
I
more
love
Kanaya.
hearing Snyder pronounce Japanese.
Yeah.
I should just skip the first one, but Takumi Kanaya, I know him. He goes out early. Had a couple of top fives on the fall swing. Definitely will be overweight on him. And then my guy, I can't even know how to
Zach
pronounce
Blair,
this guy.
is he Mormon?
We're gonna go Zhang Du. Is how are we gonna pronounce this guy's name?
Zhang Dao, or what is it? Zhang Dao?
Yeah, dude he was another crusher on the Corn Ferry Tour. Had a top 20 at the Corn Ferry Championship and had about back-to-back runner-ups before that. Hits close to 77% of his greens in regulation. Can nuke it off the tee as well. So I want to be overweight on Du. And then I know Mark's going to talk up Nick Dunlap. There was another guy down here that I liked. Let me find him. Where'd he go?
Let me guess.
Kinsey Hirata. Kinsey Hirata. Corn Ferry Tour guy. He's got upside. He was T21 here last year. That's the lowest I want to go is with Kinsey Hirata. They're at 6.4K.
How much is he?
6,400.
Okay. Kensei Hirata.
He goes out early.
That's a deep cut, Snyder. Kensei Hirata. All right, Bryce. What drags do you like?
Okay, so I'm going to start from the bottom here and then just kind of go up to the top and switch it up a bit. Cheapest guy I'm playing is Nick Dunlap. Going up from him, guys I like. I'm just going to kind of list them off in order here. Nakajima's in my pool. Kanaya, I think, is a pretty solid play here. Going to have decent amount of him. And then after that, I kind of like, there's no Scotties to jam in, so I'm not really trying to hit like the drag super hard this week. I think Eckroat's a good play. I think Castillo's a good play. I'm going to have a decent amount of them. I think McGreevy and Gim are both decent plays, and I hate Patrick Rogers, but he snuck into a couple of my teams here. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the drags. I'm trying to end most of my teams in like the 7K range, personally. There's not like, as we said, there's no like, Russell Henley's the best guy in the field by a mile. Like, I don't really think there's a huge reason to go down to this range of golf.
As Snyder alluded to, I think the best play in this range is Nick Dunlap. He obviously has insane upside and insane downside. I feel like he's either coming first or last, which I love as far as trying to win an MME. Not so much for a cash team, but I do love Nick Dunlap.
Friend of the program, Bob Dylan, broke him last year.
Anything that's low risk, high upside, I like Nick Dunlap. Similar feelings for Takumi Kanaya. Great end to last year, and I feel like he's going to ride it right into the season. Somebody in the comments, I think it was C. McDonald, spoke on Zach Blair. I would like Zach Blair a lot more if he wasn't in the bad wave, but I still have him some. Max McGreevy, exact same. If he was in the good wave, sure. But I think the best play in this range, other than Dunlap, is Austin Eckroat at 6,900. After him, William Mao, or however the fuck you pronounce that, and Ricky Castillo. Those 6,900 guys, I have them quite a bit over 10%. So I think those are the best plays down the shit zone.
I would not go more than one 6K player.
I'll say this.
There's no reason. There's no reason to.
Optimal lineup is 2 6Ks and a 7. In a 7-0, a 7 flat.
Well, your optimal lineup's kind of sick.
I mean, if you want to play like Morikawa, Henley, and Spahn together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Do we have any more questions from our wonderful listener base?
No, we need to scroll back to the questions. Here we go.
Yeah.
Some people have them in here.
Get your,
Any
get your
rule for
questions
at
in
least
advance.
blank morning, guys? I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Here.
A 75-man field is Henley a must-have. I would play him. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not playing him in 75-man field.
So AM PM guys, yes.
As of now, double check in the morning. If you're an RPS member, we'll be in Discord if it changes.
I see you like Dunlap in the playbook. Are you concerned about his driving? No. Again, you're playing for upside. Like if he shoots plus 12, that sucks. I'll move on to next week. But like I'm gonna play him. All right. Well, we'll head into everybody's favorite segment of the show, the Pick Six. Sponsored by DraftKings.com, dkng.co/RPS.
I need love for Daniel Brown. I got no Daniel Brown here.
I'm gonna go with Spawn under 67.5 strokes to round one.
Lord, they're all noon Eastern. All right, Spawn under 67.5 strokes. Love JJ Spawn. Can we go over on Keegan? I think after the Ryder Cup debacle.
Over on Keegan. Snyder.
Screw.
I'm going to go over on Siwoo Kim, 67.5.
Agreed. I'm going over on Matt McNeely.
I kind of like under on either Hideki or Connors. Let me see those. Yeah, they're both 67. What do you like?
Well, Connors isn't a good way. I think him.
Yeah, true. We'll go under on Connors.
And Snyder.
Let's go. Where is? Let's go. Aaron Rye, more than 33.5 birdies.
Aaron Rye, more than 3.5 birdies. That pays at least 8.3x.
Love it. That's it. We're hitting the first pick six of the year.
Lock City. All right. Any last questions from?
Yeah, I mean, we'll let Snyder talk about Nico because he likes Nico more than we do here a bit.
Yeah, let me find him here. I mean, it's just more of like his odds stick out to me. He's like, what, the 12th best odds, 15th best odds in the field. And it's just all come down to the putter for him. It's always boom or bust. I mean, you're going to see him gain 4 strokes putting. Some weeks you're going to see him lose 2 strokes putting. But I like the spike putting upside with him at the RSM Classic. He gained 6 strokes putting, gained off the tee. The iron play is up and down with him as well, but just at the price and the event. I mean, I was going to like slam him in there. He wasn't my main team until I started looking at the weather, but I'll just be overweight to the field or even with the field with him on him now.
All right. Well, there it is for the fucking tournament in Hawaii when we should have had 2 of them already, but the drought. Okay. We had to start a week late. That's fine. That's fine. But Golf Wars is back. We will be back next week. Good luck, everybody. For Mitchell and Bryce, we're done.